What was up with that boxing match? Man, the biggest fight of 2019. It seemed so split amongst fans on both sides. And I am like just mind blown by the community and their reaction to this fight. And I thought that I would talk about it just a bit to see where some criticisms are merited and where some of them really aren't. I myself watched the fight and I did agree that there were some aspects on both sides that the judges and whatever was going on, well, it wasn't the best. So this is purely my take. Enjoy. Also, for copyright reasons, I am not going to be using footage from the fight, but I will link to some of it in the description. But enjoy. When it comes to their fighting prowess, I don't know where to begin with this. Man, their fighting styles were so different. Like, you look at KSI and he was basically throwing jabs the whole time. And if you look at the numbers, because they were available at the very end of the video, you saw that for someone throwing less punches, Logan actually hit, like, landed a little more. But maybe that's part of strategy, and who am I to judge on that? But it was pretty weird to see that for somebody throwing more punches, KSI was landing less. But I guess they were just a little more powerful. I don't know. But Logan seemed like as though he had a solid strategy. You'd notice that past the time he wasn't using his left fist. And until like the fourth, fifth round, then he would start using his right. And I felt like as though there was a reason for that. So maybe that there was a little bit of a strategy behind it. But man, these two, I can't say this with a straight face. It seemed like as though you're talking about competing on a professional level, but it didn't seem too professional. And I hope I don't offend anybody with that, because let's face it, they're YouTubers who decided to take up boxing. You know? I think that this referee, he was awful. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I feel like as though half the time he didn't know what he was doing. And there's another point I will bring up in the future about it. Like just now, because I want to talk about the scorecard. Because that is ultimately where the power lies. But man, dude, you need a new job. You need a new job because you ultimately failed at what you're doing. It wasn't the best, but there was so much other people that he could have gotten to do your job. Was there something that he was trying to fix? Because there was a point where people are going to talk about, okay, so I knocked out Logan or something, or knocked down. I think it's knocked. I think the official term was knocked down. And he should have gotten that set of points for it. I actually don't have much of an opinion on that particular point. Although, if that is the case, then yeah, happily go ahead, do that. But in the fourth round, I actually feel like this though, if you were thinking about that from earlier and you were trying to fix your mistake, that's not fixing it. And actually, I should use that waypoint to jump into the scorecard. The scorecard was one of the more controversial parts of this fight. apparently there was one fighter, and I saw this constantly on Twitter, like at the time of its release. They were talking more about how I think it was Jack shouldn't have been giving Logan the 2 wins. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Because KSI was winning on his card anyway, so what difference would that have made on the whole? It would just have been 2 more points on him. The real kicker actually again comes from that point deduction. I honestly don't know much about boxing scoring, but if you're doing this like best 2 out of 3 judges' opinion, that may have swayed the judges, and Logan may have gotten it. But if you're going solely by numbers, probably a draw. I mean, I'll pop up the card right now so you could see it. But I felt like as though this wasn't one of the best matches. There's one other point I want to make about the -2 deduction. You need to give a warning before you do something like that. At least warn him that if he makes another lash or something, he's going to lose these 2 points. At no point was that ever given, and I think that's one of the main controversies behind this particular match. And I'm still wanting to see that play out. I'm trying my best to be non-biased right now in this video and address both sides because, let's face it, both of them work hard. They need their own like rights, but at the same time, I feel like as though that -2 points was unmerited. It was like he didn't know, and if it was purely on the judge's decision, that whole 4th round changed the game. You know? As I said, it seemed kind of broken for this particular match. But what are you going to do about it? I just wanted to give my take. In my opinion, they're both amateur level people who started off and they trained a little bit to get into doing something like this. They forced each other. KSI came out victorious, and there were a few missteps in this match that may have swayed the final overall thing. I just felt like as though there should have been a little more to the ruling. There was some stuff that could have been different on the judges' part, but they played good. What else can I really say about it? I just think that you really need to evaluate who's judging behind the scenes, because that's ultimately where the final decision lies if nobody gets knocked out. Guys, you both did good, and I want to see where it goes in the future, but until then, thanks for watching this episode of Rant. See you next time. I'm just gonna keep my finger like pointing if you want. Check out. It's like 2 videos that should be right there. Peace.